Matthew Stafford won his first playoff game yesterday as an LA Ram, and as a result of that, the Detroit Lions will be picking in the bottom 8. Now, I made a video before a couple days ago, and you guys made sure you let me know in the comments that that's not how a draft works. It's not exactly how the draft works. It's not particularly based on elimination. There's some other factors in there as well. So, I don't mind being wrong. It's okay. Now, it does have a little bit to do with where you're eliminated at, but it also is some factors as well. With that being said, we do know that the Detroit Lions will be picking at least 26 when it comes to this year's NFL draft. Now, they already secured the second overall pick with that win against the Green Bay Packers. And because Jacksonville got a win, Jacksonville by a half game secured the number 1 pick. Now, as a Lions fan, I'm okay with that. I always want my team to win. I'm super proud that they went off on a high. We see what happened with the Arizona Cardinals yesterday. Kind of went on a skid. Just could not get it together before they went in the playoffs and got bounced out in dramatic fashion. I mean, really, really bad in the first round. So I'm okay with my team trying to win, because to me, winning is the number 1 priority. It's not where you pick, but it's how you pick. Speaking of how you pick, I'm not really big into draft prospects. I'm not a scout. That stuff doesn't really entertain me. People love doing mock drafts, and like Mel Kiper and Todd McShay, and a lot of fans get enjoyment from what could be. And I'm kind of like a what will happen instead of what could happen, if that makes any sense. So although I'm entertained by the NFL draft, it's so much unknown. There's so many things that can change at the last minute that I might know about a player, a little bit about them, but that's not what I do. I don't like dive into the film and all this other stuff. But I still enjoy the NFL draft. I wasn't very high on Jeff Okudah. I was TJ Hawkinson. That turned out to be pretty good. And I think that Penei Sewell was the right pick based on the needs of the team. So that's kind of where I'm at when it comes to the NFL draft. I keep an eye on the top 50 prospects and stuff like that. I don't really dive into hidden gems and things like that. But for that type of content, make sure you check out Raw Detroit, because that's what he does. He really enjoys doing that. Believe it or not, this is like my first ever draft video, because like I said, it's just a bunch to me of wasted time. You don't know who the Lions are going to pick, and it just gets worn out. And by the time the draft comes, you don't want to see another mock draft for like 6 months, because that's how much it consumes the people that talk about them. But for me, I thought it was intriguing for the past couple of months, since the Lions have been so bad, and because they could have had the number 1 pick, and we saw very early on they were going to pick high. It's like, man, it got a little bit interesting, because the last time we had a number 2 pick was 2010 when we drafted Ndamukong Suh. Wasn't really hype about the Jeff Okudah pick, even though it was 3, because I wanted Chase Young, and I knew Washington was going to take him, and I knew that was going to happen. So Chase was my guy. That's the one I wanted. You guys know I've been screaming pass rusher since I've been on YouTube. So I've come to get very familiar with the Tankathon website, and we've been using it a lot during the live shows. So I tend to go to them. Now, I know it's a lot of mock drafts and things change and stuff like that, but I do find their mock drafts pretty interesting. With that in mind, I wanted to talk about Tankathon's mock draft. Now, specifically when it comes to the Lions, based on their first 3 picks. That's what we'll do. The day after Matthew Stafford's game, we'll take a look at the updated where he's going to pick at, where the Lions are going to pick at, and we'll look at what Tankathon has to say. And I'll get your feedback on if you like this or not. Based on what I've seen, I think a lot of Lions fans would love the initial 3 picks that Tankathon has the Detroit Lions picking. So without further ado, let's get into Tankathon's first 3 picks for the Detroit Lions 2022 NFL Draft. I have wanted an edge rusher, and I have my eyes on Michigan's Aiden Hutchinson. I like that he's in the dirt. This is the guy that I want. So this is this year's Chase Young for me. Is he as good as Chase? I don't know if he is, but we will see. But this is my Chase Young. This is my edge rusher. This is who I want. But according to Tankathon, looks like we're going to miss out on him. And Jacksonville is going to take him. And we will then pick Kayvon Thibodeaux out of Oregon. When it comes to Kayvon Thibodeaux, you hear that he's way better than Hutch. He's not as good as Hutch. For me, I think we're in a win-win situation. That's why I'm glad we didn't pick first, because whoever Jacksonville takes, that'll leave us by default with one other guy. That doesn't mean we have to take that guy. We could come up and just surprise everybody and take somebody else. But that we don't have a choice, if that makes any sense. According to Tankathon, we take Kayvon Thibodeau, listed at 6'5", 250 pounds. Kind of a stand-up guy. Sometimes he's in the dirt as well. So he can, I know he's very versatile. I do know that, and we talk about it all the time. Michael Mike brings this up a lot, that the Detroit Lions, Brad Holmes, like his Oregon Ducks. So that's probably the route that they're going to go, whether they have a choice or not. That's honestly what I believe, but my hope would be Aiden Hutchinson. I know a lot of you guys would want Kyle Hamilton, but we will see which way he goes. Right now, we have at least the 26th pick, if I read that correctly today, based on what happens from this weekend coming as Stafford takes on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We can have no less than the 26th pick. Right now, Tankathon has us at 28. And with the 28th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select quarterback Malik Willis out of Liberty. Malik Willis is listed at 6'1", 215 pounds. And I know a lot of people comparing him to maybe this year's Trey Lance with just the rawness. And he really hasn't had much help on his team. I do know that. And I know the competition, because of where he's at, has not been stellar. It's been projected that he'll be the only person from Liberty, his football team, to be to be even worthy of a draft pick. That says a lot for your team. Now, I know a lot of fans, especially Raw Detroit, he loves Malik Willis and would love for him to be a Detroit Lion. It's going to be intriguing, because at first I was against a quarterback because I thought we needed defense. As Jared Goff began to slack off, I was like, well, maybe it wouldn't be too bad to take a quarterback in this year's draft. I'm thinking more of maybe with that first third round pick in the early 70s, may take a quarterback there. But if you take Malik Willis, I think there is a huge upside. He can sit behind Jared Goff for a year or so while getting those second reps. And also, he can push Jared Goff, something we haven't had a backup quarterback do for our starter in as long as I can remember, at least for the last decade. We know Stafford pretty much had everything he wanted here. He never was under any pressure to lose his job. So I wouldn't be opposed to that if they did take him and he was there. The Detroit Lions have a lot of needs we need a safety. We need some linebackers. We need a defensive. To me, we need a pass rush. We ranked 27th in sacks in the National Football League for the 2021 season. So we need those things. We do need a wide receiver. We only have 2 under contract. We don't know what's going to happen in free agency. Are we going to keep Josh Reynolds? What are we going to do here? And that brings us to the 34th pick, the second pick in the second round. And with the 34th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select David Bell, wide receiver out of Purdue. I don't really know much about David Bell. He's 6'2". He's listed at 6'2", 205. And I think that we do need a receiver that is over 6 feet. Me personally, I would love a 6'4", 6'5" wide receiver. I think we haven't really been the same since Calvin Johnson left. And I don't know if we'll get that guy in this NFL draft. But a lot of people do like David Bell. Like I said, I really don't know much about David Bell, but I do think we need a receiver. I wish he was just that receiver was a little bit taller, because I think that the Lions are really going to go for height over speed. They might get a speedy guy as well. I don't know yet. So let me know in the comments below, how do you feel about Tankathon's early mock draft after Stafford's win against the Arizona Cardinals? Taking Kayvon Thibodeau with the second pick, taking Malik Willis with the 28th pick, and with the 34th pick, taking wide receiver David Bell. I think all of those are positions of need. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad with those, to tell you the truth, because I know a little bit about Malik. I know a little bit about Kayvon, and I'll brush up on David Bell as we get closer to the draft. I'm not mad at that. I think all of those guys are positions of need, and if they're the best available players at their position at the time, then that's a win-win situation. So leave it in the comments below. What do you feel about that, the early mock draft? And like I said, we'll do one of these just to look at those first 3 picks based on the Matthew Stafford positioning as far as if he goes. Now, we do know if he wins the Super Bowl, we will have pick 32 and 34. Again, leave it in the comments below. My name is Derek. This is Detroit Lions Syndicate. We are approaching 400 subscribers. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Be sure to check out the Gridiron Blitz as well. My original channel, we do NFL, college, football live streams, and some content as well. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself. And as always, go Lions.